5,000 hours. You can also see that the average LED penetration in these few years has greatly increased. Moreover, we're trying to introduce a new thing that is fluorescent corridors. We're trying to use fluorescent tiles and wallpapers to put in corridors and toilets so that they can absorb UV light during the day, and then we can emit light to provide essential lighting for corridors and washroom at the night, so they do not have to turn on the lights.
So we are now going to introduce our water system. The first device is the district cooling system, DCS. Since water is an excellent temperature regulator, DCS can effectively distribute the chilled water as a central source to multiple buildings through a network of extensive underground pipes in order to supply the water for different uses. So the system is cost efficient as it only constitutes a total cost of about 55 to 60 million, which is a low cost in the long term. And also it is highly visible as we have abundant water supply from the Zhujiang River. So this is the flow chart of DCS. The extensive network of underground pipeline has connection to different buildings within the lagoon. So according to the statistics from EMSD, DCS system consumes 35% less electricity compared with the conventional cooling system. So DCS system has various advantages. It saves energy, reduces greenhouse gas emission, noise pollution, and refrigerant use. Also, it is very easy to install. It also improves building space utilization, so we can have vibrant sky bar on the rooftop. DCS systems improve the reliability and flexibility too. Some may say that DCS system may have a high contamination risk. However, we will add active carbon filter to purify the water. In another way, DCS system will lead to flooding, so we will have time-to-time examination in order to ensure that the system was perfect. So although the physical space may be a concern, we will install the system within an underground pipeline network in order to solve the problem. Another device is the water pipe turbine generator, which is a system with built-in lightweight turbines. The pressurized water moves the turbine, and then the potential energy of the water will make the turbine generate kinetic energy, and the kinetic energy will further convert into the electrical energy. So this is how the conversion of energy works. Water pipe turbine generator is cost efficient, as it operates at mechanical efficiency greater than 90%. It would be a feasible project too because similar technology has been used since 1820s, so it proves it is efficient. So next, we are going to introduce our water recycling system. The wastewater used for cooking and bathing will be recycled and used for toilet flushing and irrigation. The whole system is cost efficient. So taking Escondido's case as a reference, the council installed a water recycling system in order to avoid paying a larger sum in the future to deal with the sewage water problem. We do believe that the recycling system can constitute a more sustainable development. So we will collect the water from different parts of the to the central recycling system in order to constitute a large amount of potential energy. And sewage water from different electrical appliances will flow to the central recycling system and then through the extensive network of pipelines. So, in fact, the feasibility of this system can be proved by successful examples. For example, California, Singapore, and Israel prove that this system is very efficient. These three devices mentioned above will operate collectively in order to generate the greatest amount of energy with minimum amount of resources and strive for sustainable development.
Now we proceed to talk about the smart car system. This is basically a system with electric vehicles on that field. And electric cars has the lowest emission and lowest running costs compared to other cars. And it's also quieter. So why do we use buses or train? Because this is inefficient. Because the community won't be a very densely populated community. And train is also has higher infrastructure costs. So you may ask, why do we use bicycle, which has lowest infrastructure costs and lowest emission? Because bicycle is not suitable for our tight group, and it's harder to extend to other community. So here are the suggested usage of the cars. So Manalie guidance system has a relative really high cost in paving the way. So I discuss how can we compensate this high cost in the future slides. And the advantages are follows: avoid accidents and support steady auto driving. So for electricity generation, we suggest to implement regenerative brake into the car, which can convert kinetic energy into electric energy during the brake powering, and it can save 10 to 15% of energy. So we suggest to implement solar panel and wind tunnel into the car as well, because if we only use electricity as the fuel, we are only shifting the emission to other sites, but not eco-friendly. So here are the suggested use of recharging process. We suggest to use contactless rechargers, and it is other electric buses are using a similar technology, so that the cars can be constantly recharged. So people with similar, we suggest that people with similar routes can take the same car so as to maximize the usage of the cars. So how can we generate revenue? First, I suggest that we can include the use of the cost of cars into the property management fee. And in long term, we can encourage the residents to purchase a car so that they can use the car within and also without the community. And we can suggest the residents to share the cars and rent it out so as to earn rental so that both Agile and the residents can gain. So Google Create Space is an example on that.
Now we are going to talk about the green clubhouse. Imagine a trunk in glass located in the center as a social hub promoting a healthy and environmental friendly lifestyle. It consists of 5 levels with different facilities. The target of our clubhouse is the upper middle class who has a desire and financial ability for the healthy lifestyle which we are promoting. The membership fee is included in the management fee, where residents can also purchase extra services if they want. And for the spa and sauna, we utilize the underground hot spring water in Cheung, and we use bamboo bales as they are environmental friendly and also easy to maintain. And as for the organic farming, we have the restaurant and bar reform foods for catering, and also residents can also buy seeds to farm on their own. And we also have indoor continual farming, which is very easier to maintain. And compared to conventional farming, less pesticides are used, and it will use 45% less of energy and produce 40% less of greenhouse gases. And as for the grape farming, the grape farm will be used as either fruits or taken to the underground winery and make wine. And as for the green deli, the restaurant, the green meals will be provided with less meat and oil, and also healthy cooking will be promoted. And the food ingredients will be taken directly from the organic farm and also the community of Zhongshan to reduce the transport, as this can reduce the packaging and also preservatives, leading to fresher and cheaper food. And we also have a catered care service where residents place order for the meals, and then the restaurant will collect and then process the food for them. And then the smart system will deliver the food to the household, and then you can have a cheap household meal yet in a very quick style. And this can help save time, but also cater the needs of our members. And the Barbell Sky Bar is available both by booking and walk-in, and the wine made from the underground winery is our source of the alcohol. And vertical access wind turbine is also used as it is more efficient and also capture wind from all directions. And as for our revenue of the clubhouse, we can, apart from the different service revenue, we can also, the residents can also sell the remaining plantations back to the catering that help them to earn money. And this, the whole clubhouse form a green cycle where the eating garden and also the catering can have the inputs and outputs reused and recycled. And this is basically our 4 elements of our community, which can help promote the green lifestyle, yet in a very healthy way. Thank you.
The Q&A section will start.
So, are there any questions?
I was very pleased to hear that. I think that you're one of the only groups that identified the idea that electricity at different times of day makes a big difference. So that makes a lot of sense the way you're describing. I wanted to ask you if you could speak to how you connect some of the systems. The district cooling system is a very interesting system. But it also has two features. One is that it needs to have a big cooling tower, which evaporates a lot of water. Do you have any heating needs in the system that could use that heat instead of just evaporating it? And secondly, a district cooling system also creates a lot of condensation water, because you're taking the humidity out. What are you doing with all the water?
Actually, we have did some of the research, and we have found some examples from different countries. For example, for the cold water, they can have underground rooms that can help store the cold air from the condensed water. That can also be once again used as a cooling. And for the the hot water, we can somehow maybe heat up some of the water pipes, because for flats they have to maybe take hot shower. There is hot water, so if we can heat up, we have some examples from foreign countries that they can heat up the water for a little bit, so they can use less electricity or energy to heat up the water for shower or whatever hot water use. So there's also a heat exchange system in there, but we do not have enough time to elaborate on it.
You also mentioned that the water pipe curve
Yes.
efficiency is 90%. Seems too good to be true. Do you mind to elaborate on that?
Actually, it's we have taken some research, yes, and this is from the Escondido's example, because the Escondido Council released a news press and find that actually the mechanical efficiency increased from year to year, and then the average mechanical efficiency is 90%. Actually, I think the main reason is that we use small but simple turbines, and then but it can generate large power, so that's the efficiency calculated is very high.
More questions? Feel free to ask.
So thank you, Greenstronaut.